Hey guys, so it's been a while since I posted my last video, and as usual, I never planned on being away for so long, but since I have been away for, I think it's been a couple of months, I thought it'd be a good idea to do a recent reads video. So the books that I'm going to talk about are basically all the books that I read in May, June, and what I've read so far in July. I actually did not read any books in March or in April because I moved and it took me a while to sort of get back into the swing of things. So the past couple of months I've only managed to finish reading 8 books, which is kind of sad, but hopefully I get back into the reading swing of things and I pick up the pace and I can read so many more books in the rest of the year. The first book I wanted to talk about is Beautiful Darkness by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stohl. This is the second book in the Castor Chronicles series. I didn't really care for this book. It took me forever to finish reading it. It's just way too long. The series as a whole, I doubt that I will ever finish. It's just not really my thing and I don't really like the direction it's going. Lena is frustrating, to say the least. She's just not that great of a character. I don't understand why she reacts so negatively to the fact that she has to choose whether or not she wants to be a light witch or a dark witch. She grew up in that environment. Like, this should not be such a big deal for her, but it is. Yeah, this was not a fun read. The next 2 books I wanted to talk about are 2 books in a series, and they are The 100 and Day 21 by Cass Morgan. I, obviously, since I'm showing you guys the book covers on my tablet, I actually read these on my tablet. I decided to pick up The 100 because I had watched The 100, the TV show on Netflix, and the show was so good. The books, however, were really disappointing. They're nothing like the TV show. I read the first 2 books because I kind of have a problem with series, and once I start a series, and even though the first book isn't that good, I want to read the second book, so I'm like, well, maybe it'll get better. And now that I'm 2/3 into the series, I'm eventually going to read the last book. I'm actually waiting for it from the library. Yeah, the series is kind of disappointing. I will finish it just so I can say it, I finished it. I want to say it's like a 2.5 star series because it's just nothing like the TV show, and the TV show was so good and the books are just bleh. The next book I want to talk about is Deep Down Dark by Hector Tobar. This is a non-fiction book about the 33 miners that were trapped in a collapsed mine for 69 days in Chile back in 2010. This book was so good. I mean, I remember hearing about these guys, and I remember seeing the footage of them being pulled up from the mine after the 69 days, and it was intense watching it on TV, but, you know, I'm in the United States, in California, and it was happening in Chile, so even though it was intense watching it, reading about it and hearing it from those guys, it's like hearing the guys talk to the author and share their actual stories and share their actual experiences and telling the world, you know, what it was like to actually be trapped down there in that mine for so long. I mean, this book was amazing. This is a 5-star book. It was beautifully written, the interviews and everything. It's just so good, and I highly recommend this book if you're into that kind of stuff. So after reading Deep Down Dark, which is kind of a heavy book, I kind of got into a new adult kick, and this started earlier in the year when I started reading the After series by Anna Todd. So finally I got around to reading the last book in the series, which is After Ever Happy. Overall, I love the series as a whole. It's super entertaining and fun, and if you're looking at it from like a literary standpoint, yeah, it's not the best thing out there, but from an entertainment standpoint and from just a fun factor standpoint, it's amazing. So after finishing up the After series, I decided to pick up another new adult series, and I ended up going with the Losing It series by Cora Carmack. So far, I have read the first 2 books in that trilogy, and they are Losing It and Faking It. So far, I'm enjoying the series. I much preferred Faking It over Losing It. I thought the premise in Losing It was kind of silly, and I couldn't see how someone would get themselves in that type of a situation. I don't know, Faking It just seems like that's something that could actually happen to someone. I am planning on reading the 3rd book in the series, which is called Finding It. I haven't gotten around to doing it yet, but I am gonna do it, and hopefully I like it. The last book that I want to talk about is a book that I have owned for several years. I've started it several times, and for some reason I've had a very difficult time finishing it, but I finally managed to finish reading it, and the book I'm talking about is The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon by Stephen King. I am so glad that I actually have finally finished reading this book after owning it for over 10 years and after starting it so many times. Unfortunately, this is not my new favorite Stephen King book. I think it is a good book. I think this book is classified as a psychological thriller, and I can kind of see how it's a psychological thriller, but my psychology wasn't thrilled. It was a fun book, and it was actually a really fun book to read in the summer because it does kind of take place during the summer, and our main character ends up getting lost in the woods. So it is a fun summery read. It is not, like I said, my new favorite Stephen King book. I think it is good, and I think I do plan on keeping it in my paperback Stephen King collection. So yeah, those are all the books that I have managed to finish reading in the past couple of months. I have started a bunch of others, but since I haven't finished them, I decided not to include them in this video. If you guys would like to see full reviews on any of these books, let me know in the comments down below, and I will definitely do that. Anyway, that is all for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget that you guys can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads. All those links are always in the description box below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!